Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Shri Bhagavān Uvacha Samoham sarva-bhūteṣu nami dveṣyosti na priyaḥ ye bhajanti tumam bhaktyā mayi teṣu cāpy aham. Srimad Bhagavad-gītā 9.29 9.29 Samoham sarva-bhūteṣu nami dveṣyosti na priyaḥ ye bhajanti tumam bhaktyā mayi teṣu cāpy aham. Samoham sarva-bhūteṣu nami dveṣyosti na priyaḥ ye bhajanti tumam bhaktyā mayi teṣu cāpy aham. So, Sri Bhagavān Uvacha. The Lord is now explaining how to do bhakti. He explained, right? Whatever you do it for me. Yat karoshi yadashnasi yat juhoshi tadasi yat. You do it for me, and that is for you to get liberated. So, in this way, my bhakti is performed like this. Bhagavan is saying, my bhakti is performed like this. So, jivas are doing bhakti of Kṛṣṇa. It looks like jivas are doing it for Kṛṣṇa. Bhakti to Kṛṣṇa and for Kṛṣṇa. But what actually is happening is the jivas are getting liberated. When everything is offered to the Lord, the jivas are getting liberated. So amazing. స్వామికి ఏదో భక్తి చేస్తున్నట్టు కనిపిస్తుంది. నేను చేసేదంతా స్వామికి అర్పించాలి, తెగ నేను చేసేస్తున్నా, భక్తి చేసేస్తున్నా, స్వామికి చేసేస్తున్నా అన్నట్టు కనిపిస్తుంది. కానీ అసలు సంగతి, నేను చేసేదంతా స్వామికి అర్పిస్తున్నప్పుడు స్వామికి ఏదో ఒరగట్లేదు. నా జన్మ పునీతం అవుతుంది. ఈ దుఃఖ సాగరం నుండి నాకు విముక్తి లభిస్తుంది. స్వామి ధామానికి వెళ్ళడానికి అవుతుంది. సో కృష్ణ భక్తి అనేది స్వామికి ఏదో చేసేసి నేను ఉద్ధరిస్తున్నాను కాదు, స్వామి నన్ను ఉద్ధరిస్తున్నాడు. నన్ను దుఃఖం నుండి బయటపడేసి విముక్తి చేసి నన్ను ధామం వైపు తీసుకొని వెళ్తున్నాడు. అది కృష్ణ భక్తి. సో హియర్ Bhagavan is saying, Samoham sarva-bhūteṣu nami dveṣyosti na priyaḥ. So, I am equally disposed. I am sitting in the heart and I am equally disposed to all the living entities. Samoham sarva-bhūteṣu. I don't have any dveṣya, I don't have any raga. No hatred or and no, not that I hate somebody or somebody is dear to me. I'm simply equally disposed to all. Name dveṣyo na asti na priyaḥ. So this is a feature of Paramātmā. When the Lord is just sitting in the heart in a very neutral position, disposition, with no reciprocation with the jīva, just being a supervisor of the activities of the jīva, and then permitter, supervise and permit the jīva according to the jiva's eligibility and qualification. Just supervise and permit. When the Supreme Lord is just performing these two functions, being witness, and then being a permitter. So this functionality of the Lord, when the Lord is doing just these functions, is called Paramātmā. So there is no reciprocation happening with the jīva in that state. So every jīva, when it is performing the action, then the Lord is just witnessing. Oh, okay, what kind of action are you performing? And then the results will be given accordingly, whether you should perform this action or not. And the results according to the action, like that. So just in witnessing Jiva's actions and giving the results accordingly is just the Paramātmā functionality of the Lord, where there is no reciprocation, direct reciprocation with the Jiva. But ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya mayi teṣu cāpy aham. But when the Jiva starts feeling, wait a minute, what is this going on? I want to turn towards Bhagavan. I want to think of Bhagavan. I want to do something for Bhagavan. Enough of doing it for me. I want to do it for Bhagavan. When the Jiva starts thinking like that, then the absolute truth that was there in the form of Paramātmā, now the very absolute truth is now being Bhagavan. So Paramasatyam, when it is just doing the functionality of witnessing and permitting the fruits, that Paramasatyam is just Paramatma in that functionality. But the very same Paramsatyam, absolute truth, starts to reciprocate with Jiva, because the Jiva's desire is now want to serve Bhagavan. Then that functionality of absolute truth is Bhagavan. So Bhagavan is always to do with the Jiva, reciprocating with the Jiva. I like that. So when the soul wants to turn towards the Lord has been waiting for the soul for such a long time. And then the Lord also will start to reciprocate personally with the Jiva. So that is ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya mayi teṣu cāpy aham. When the Jiva is having this desire, Bhagavan, I want to please you, then itself, then the Lord becomes the friend of the Jiva. And The jīva is situated in the Lord and Lord is situated in the jīva. Yeah. When the jīva wants to turn to the Lord and please the Lord, then Paramātmā becomes Bhagavan. Paramātmā becomes Bhagavan. సో అప్పటి వరకు అన్ని జీవుల్లోనూ పరమాత్మ అట్లా కూర్చొని ఉంటాడు. ఎవరెవరు ఏ జీవి ఏం చేస్తుంది, ఏ కర్మ చేస్తుంది, ఏ కర్మ తగ్గట్టు ఏ ఫలం ఇవ్వాలని ఇస్తుంటాడు పరమాత్మ. కానీ ఎప్పుడైతే జీవి ఎప్పుడు నా కోసమైనా చేసుకునేది, నాకు భగవంతుడికి చేయాలన్నదని ఎప్పుడైతే అనిపిస్తుందో జీవికి, అప్పుడు ఆ పరమాత్మే భగవంతుడు అవుతాడు. జీవి అప్పుడు భగవంతుడికి ప్రేమతో సేవ అందిస్తున్నప్పుడు దెన్ భగవంతుడు జీవిలో ఉంటాడు, జీవి భగవంతుడు ఉంటాడు. ఆ రకంగా పరమాత్ముడు భగవంతుడు అవుతాడు ఎప్పుడైతే జీవికి నేను భగవత్ సేవ చేయాలి అని అనిపిస్తుందో అప్పుడు. దట్ టర్నింగ్ పాయింట్. What jiva feels, even before the jiva knows, the Lord in the heart, the Chaitya Guru knows. Oh, so this is the desire of the jiva. Like that. And then the arrangements will be made accordingly. In Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Sri Kṛṣṇa's Kaviraj Goswami says, when the jiva has this desire, oh, I want to be with Bhagavan, the Chaitya Guru, when he senses the desire, then it is said that the Chaitya Guru, he comes, he takes the form of a Siksha Guru, a pure, realized soul. And then he paves the path back home, back to Godhead for that jiva. Yeah. So like that, it depends upon the desire of the jiva. This bhakti process is so meticulous because bhakti is Bhagavad Shakti. Bhagavad Shakti, and an unfailing, very meticulous and unfailing process. The journey of the soul towards Bhagavan, very unfailing and meticulous process. Everything really depends upon the desire of the jiva. Desire of the jiva. Yeah. Well, one may take external initiation. Yeah. But so in that way they may, even though they have taken external initiation, what is the desire that you have inside? That will decide everything. So bhajana kriya may be happening, hearing about Kṛṣṇa, chanting, and some services outside. Externally these things may happening. But when will the reciprocation with Bhagavan happens? When the soul is ready for that from within. So one may take up the process of initiation, but everything will remain external until the symptom of the soul awakens within. That we have to look for, dear devotees. Why are we coming to Bhakti? Why did I take Diksha? One single thing. Do I have this quality of, I want to submit to you, my Lord? Is that happening within me? So the whole bhakti starts when this feature of the soul awakens from within. That submission, that feature of the soul, that quality of the soul. Only one thing to be done in bhakti. When the soul has to just submit to a transcendental personality. Tat vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. That's all. Am I doing pranipati to a tattvavid guru? That is all bhakti is about. Bhakti is about, is just this. Is it happening to me? Do I have that submission to a realized soul? Then the bhakti begins. All this bhajana kriya is to get to that point. When that single thing happens, submission to a realized soul, then only bhakti starts. Then only reciprocation with Bhagavan is truly starting. And that is all. Diksha in ISKCON, yes, wonderful. But is that happening to me? Am I submitting myself to a realized soul? Then only bhakti is starting. All the bhajana kriya. Doing, hearing, chanting. For this one thing, am I submitting to a realized soul? Then that's it. First point. And then second point is prasangamajaram pasham atmanakavayo vidu sayeva sadhu sukruto mokshatvaram upavrit. That attachment to that realized soul will cause detachment from external things. Only then that is bhakti. Without detachment to this world, how will there be? How can we hold the Lord? And how can we stay attached to the Lord? How can we even say that we are attached to the Lord if there is no detachment to the world? So the proof of attachment to the Lord is there is detachment to the world, detachment to the mind. Is that happening with me in this bhakti? These are the things that a soul should look for, any devotee should look for. Am I having submission to a realized soul? Number one. Is detachment from this mind happening to me? Because everybody may think, oh, I am attached to Kṛṣṇa. Or because I am chanting, I am hearing, I am serving, so I am attached to Kṛṣṇa. Really? What's the testimony? How do we know? How much are you detached from the mind? These are the things one should look for. Otherwise, it is just fooling ourselves. Only external bhakti, going, doing, happening. Yeah, everything just remains superficial. Are these two things happening with me? Then yes, bhakti is starting then. But it is not easy for these two things to happen. First of all, the first thing is, am I submitting to a realized soul? That happens when the jiva's desire is really, yes, Kṛṣṇa. My desire is simply to serve you. I have no ulterior motive here. When the jīva is ready for that, then there will be submission to a realized soul. Until then, what happens? In the name of bhakti, the jīva is just getting whatever it wants. Artho arthati. And at the most, jignasa. Using bhakti, using Bhagavān to get rid of the problems or to fulfill their desire. At the most, just to get the answers to the questions, inquisitiveness. That's all is happening to jīva. But when the jīva is truly feeling, no, Bhagavān, I want to lovingly serve you, then the submission to a realized soul will happen. And with that attachment to the realized soul, then detachment to the mind happens. Otherwise, it will not. There is no way we can get detached to the mind without getting attached to the realized soul.